but he's racist and like sexist and all these things. And she was like, totally, the things he says are crazy,
right?
But jobs is really what fixes racism and sexism. Give them money,
right.
Help them elevate. And I was like, all right, you're wrong. And he's gonna, I mean, there's some truth to that, but it's like, he's not gonna follow through with any of these promises, but I guess your motive makes sense. She's like always been so honest. She's always been so lovely. She was actually really lovely during production. She was so great.
Sure.
She was so grateful to be there. Like liberals and conservatives, however you define it, whatever. Like the one thing they could agree on is we like the show Roseanne. We all wanted this to be a part of like the healing process or some kind of like cool statement or something. And then I think that maybe, you know, although it's not the package I was hoping it would come in, the win was that Channing Dungey at ABC, this awesome black woman, canceled the racist white woman.
Do you feel like Roseanne's a racist?
I mean, yes.
So I thought it was a white woman as such. I thought, hey, here's a good way to talk about the bullshit Iran deal of Valerie Jarrett, which is just like Planet of the Apes, the movie, which is just about arresting all the citizens that know how to read and everything they did, the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt and Iran, and they're doing it here now. And so I was like, yeah, look.
So is she racist, or does she just say a tweet that somebody who's 65 years old on Twitter might say?
I don't know. I don't think we can like qualify and defend because we will never know the answer. The reality is like you have to take responsibility for your behavior. If you send a racist tweet, you're racist. Like we don't, I mean, it's kind of that's if you rape a girl, you're a rapist. Like
if you rape a girl, you're a rapist. If you say something on Twitter, are you a racist? But it's not just that. She looks for some type of controversy.
And then look, I think that if that was the first tweet she had ever sent, we might be like, oh, maybe she's never used Twitter. Maybe she like, but that is,
it's so irresponsible.
It's actually what she did was like slightly above the N-word, actually.
Canceled my show within 20 minutes. And then they refused to allow me to come on any of their shows. But the very next day, they just called me a racist and called me a racist tweet. Because in their mind, whenever they see, this is what's so sick. I never used the word monkey. They did.
Yeah.
I mean, because they are that racist, and I know it because I was fighting them the whole time I was on TV to have black writers, a black crew, because that mattered to me.
Thinking it, that's your business. I don't necessarily agree with you, but deciding to put it out there, that's a different level. And you voted for Trump. Like, it's just, there's so much other like ancillary evidence that if she had voted for Hillary and had never tweeted it, we might all go like, oh, maybe this is maybe we should figure out what happened here. And she's Roseanne and she was always so progressive, but it was just like, there was just too much. There was too big of a case against her for me to like, be like, no, she made a mistake. Like,
Do you feel
like, fuck you. Like 200 people are out of a job.
I don't want to cause anybody to lose their jobs. I'm for working people.
But maybe they can salvage the legacy in some way, but if it benefits her financially,
it's a bad move, right? Yeah. Shouldn't there have been something in the contract? No, Roseanne's not allowed to tweet?
Yeah. I was allowed under my contract to have 24 hours to correct any mistake. And I asked them to let me go on The View and their other shows and explain. They said, no, you can't till the contract's ready, and that took weeks.
No one ever thought this would happen because who would be so crazy to do that? And Roseanne is smart.
Yeah.
She is smart.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know what I mean?
She navigated an industry at a time when it was...
Well, I think that if I'm going to be honest, like that is what a lot of, you know, the people on the show were concerned because she was so silenced for so long and she had created this show and she wanted to do certain things and they were like, easy, honey, like we'll write the scripts. And she was minimized and she was denied creatively and she had to fight tooth and nail for so long that by the time, you know, it was time for her to come back and like people have decided women are funny and can star in TV shows and have creative autonomy. I think like a lot of the producers were like, we don't want her to feel like she's being silenced again. You know, because that didn't go so well the first time. So I think it was like, you know, everybody's way of making her feel like she's being seen and heard and not having her First Amendment rights taken away or being silenced creatively or whatever.
But you were not, in the end, you're still not really shocked probably?
I wasn't shocked because I had gone, when we were doing the boy in a dress stuff, we had GLAAD come in to talk to her about, you know, sort of how transgender, and she kind of didn't really know how transgender or the, like, most up-to-date hip sort of take on it.
Right.
You know, like wasn't really on the right side of history around it. And we're like, you know what, let's just put it into the show. And Sarah Gilbert plays the mom, and she's, you know, a lesbian. She knows all this stuff. Like we're going to be, you know, she'll make sure that everything's, you know, that Roseanne understands, and with the kid on set. You know what? I'm sorry, to answer your question, I was surprised. If it had been like a transphobic thing, or like, you know, because she's very into the Israel, if it had been about that, or like the Nazi cookies thing was a little bit like, she's Jewish and it's obviously offensive, but like I can see why she thought it was funny.
Right.
Like I understand. So I would never do it. And I think that was a really bad choice that she made, and wasn't funny, but I understand why she thinks it was okay to tweet. But this, I am shocked. I have to say, I'm still shocked.
Do you think ABC, though, like they're the ones who shut the show down? Like, was there another avenue in hindsight than to have all those people lose their jobs?
Yeah,
you
I
know?
think that the PR people should have shut her Twitter down ages ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, it was a problem for a while, you know, but it was kind of like.
Such a bummer.
But it was like, she was like retweeting shit about like brainwashing and MKUltra and like.
Yeah, no, it's stuff. It's obviously she's
like
fishing
conspiracy
for
theories.
some. Yes.
But also it's like, you have to understand, like, you know, and I'm not breaking news here, but like she's admitted to being mentally ill.
Right.
She'd admitted it before. So I
Right.
think there was a lot of people were like, oh, people know that she's Roseanne,
Yeah.
and they're not taking it seriously. But then when she started getting more influence, and the show did 25 million viewers and was like huge, it was like a lot of these people don't know that. They just assume if Roseanne tweets it, it must be true.
Right.
So then it started becoming like a poisonous, really irresponsible thing, because she's then now has 1 million followers, and people are actually listening to her again, and they think that what she's saying is true because
Yeah.
it's on a computer, and nothing that's on the computer would be fake, you know?